Alright, so we are continuing to work on this Ford Expedition EL 4x4. So, had to go get some assistance as far as the jack here that is supporting the lower A-arm. And as you can hear, the train going by in the background. So if you can't hear, I apologize. Honey, can you go ahead and jack it up? So we're going to go ahead and apply some upward pressure on the lower A-arm. We already have our bolts positioned in the strut here. It should fall in here pretty easily here in a second. Got my handy dandy pry bar to assist. Don't really like tapping those down through there like that, but
Do you need to keep going because this is off of that now?
so we gotta tap this down on this side. Not a whole lot of tapping necessary, but to help it get through that lower A-arm, we need to make sure that it is seated nicely. So for these, again, KYB has went with a non-factory specific size, and these are your 17 millimeter nuts to go on the bottom. Now, I'm a fan of following the instructions in the book. However, the instructions in the book says to put 406 pounds of torque on these lower nuts. So I called a buddy of mine over at Ford, service manager, and I said, "Hey man, this really sounds a little bit excessive." He said, "Yeah, that's probably not the correct, because the correct is actually 66 pounds of torque." So that's what we're going to go with, is 66 pounds of torque. Where's that hanger, babe? There we go, hiding behind the light. So this was kind of whacking my knuckle. So we'll go ahead and hold that up. Now I know that some people will say, well, you're not supposed to tighten the top side, you're supposed to tighten the bottom, the nut side. Well, the fact of the matter is it's just easier to get to the top. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and continue jacking up this lower A-arm so that we can put the steering knuckle back to the upper A-arm. So we have the vehicle supported by 2 jack stands and a hydraulic lift that is on the front cattle guard of this vehicle. Slow as it goes. So we're not too far from making contact. This is a bit of a tricky portion right here because the upper A-arm is in fact spring loaded and it is in the up position. So
Just keep going.
I'm going.
It's no longer on the pneumatic jack, so on either side. Keep going.
Keep on going. So as y'all can see, it takes a lot of pressure to compress this this new KYB strut. Again, we got the one that's 1.5 inches taller, so it is a little bit more difficult to get it to compress. Let's see if Ooh. Ooh, goodness. That was a little difficult to get. Again, this is a 21 millimeter. Thirteen, 16, 21 millimeter. Seems that I was turning that the wrong way, fixing to undo all the hard work we had already completed. So with this particular bolt, can you go get me the 1/2 inch drive? Ratchet. I'd already taken it in. Wasn't thinking. This particular bolt is liable to start spinning on you. Luckily, Ford had decided that even if it does spin on you, that they would allow you to grab it right there with a pair of pliers. That way you could always turn it with a wrench and hold on to it so that it didn't spin. I believe I am to the point that a crescent wrench is needed. So, like I said, once it starts spinning, just grab your crescent wrench, hang on to the bottom there. Now, it is a little difficult to get your torque specifications correct. However, let's just go ahead. We're going to snug it up. This particular torque specification per the book is 85 pounds. So we'll get it to something near that, and then I'll put a torque wrench on it to make sure that it is good. I will tell you, this being the second side, to the passenger side the other day, this side is going much better. I will tell you that when I attempted to do the other side, goodness gracious sakes alive, it was not a happy time. But learning what I learned from that side, putting it into practice into this side, makes a world of difference. Go ahead and reconnect this tie rod end.